Welcome to another edition of the magazine. Today we're here at Little Patch of Heaven Sanctuary, and we're here with Keri, Wison, and Alexis Furtado. Welcome to the magazine.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for having us.
Oh, great. This is amazing out here.
Thank you.
How did all this happen?
So 8 years ago, I started with Blazing Saddles Pony Parties, and we started taking in rescues, and we had to figure out a way that we could support the rescues. So we started taking one little pony around and doing pony rides to help support the old Mew Molly that we took in, was one of our first rescues. So me and the girls did that. And then we started seeing in the industry that the petting zoo animals, there's petting zoos, pony rides and petting zoos. The petting zoo animals, then later, what happens to them? People are bringing little babies, and then what happens with those little babies?
Right.
So we started taking in more rescues, and we self-funded it for the last 6 years. And last year, we went non-for-profit.
Okay.
We create a lot of educational programs, Alexis does. And now we would like to bring educational programs. You can jump in at any time.
We wanted to see what it was like for animals to live a full and happy life.
Okay.
So when children started to come here, we noticed that they were understanding the rescue animals in ways that we couldn't. They were going through experiences alongside of them that include change and grief and loss. They were healing together. And that's something that happens naturally in nature, and we were bearing witness to it.
Okay.
To create these educational programs, I was allowing anybody to come in, aged 4 to 17, breaking down these programs, providing crafts and activities that would move along the day, but allowing them to have this connection with the animals that wasn't controlled in any way. I just allowed it to happen. They would snuggle with the animals, watch them grow, meet these goals and ideas of, okay, I want this animal to have a certain type of housing long term. How do I make that happen? They like this type of bedding. This is what makes them comfortable. So they were showing up every week and meeting these goals. I started to create more programs that followed the needs of what they were bringing to me through what we had initially created. And now we have homeschool co-ops and summer camps for ages 4 to 17 that meet those goals.
So with all the animals, you need a big property. So you have a nice sized property here, but with continually getting some rescue animals, your business has grown, your plan has grown.
Yes.
So how did this property come to be as well?
We started in Dartmouth, and we had just under 5 acres, and we did well. And then I started getting more and more rescues, and then I started renting another place.
Okay.
So now I found that very difficult because I had the animals at my home and then in Dartmouth and then the rental that I had. So we started looking in 2019. We started looking, luckily, and this is what we were able to afford. There was nothing on the property. We, for the last 5 years, have been just hammering it, and a lot of our followers have seen us grow from mobile pony parties only to creating a venue and doing mobile pony parties to then creating these amazing educational programs that we have. And that's what we have grown throughout the last 8 years.
And your program, you had mentioned, Alexis, you mentioned about summer camp, but do you have programs throughout the year?
Yes, we have homeschool co-op programs, and then for any traditional break that the public school has, we still host a camp during those weeks to provide a place for parents to bring their children that is safe and exciting and fun. They can drop them off here and know they're going to have a great day.
Great. So even like say February vacation week?
Yep. Yes. Yep.
What are some of the winter things you do? Because I mean, they're animals and they have needs in the wintertime. I'm sure that are more. So what happens in the wintertime?
During the winter, we tend to ask families as they're getting rid of old blankets to bring them by.
Okay.
We utilize those in every single house here for the animals to keep them warm. As with the kids, when we're hanging out outside, it's still a great day if it's a snow day. We're out there sledding with the animals, the goats are pulling things, so we have fun no matter what time of year.
So,
And they get to see that. The kids get to see that it's rain or shine. We are here, rain or shine. The care still needs to be done. They get to see us. We still have to feed. We may not stay outside as long. We might do some crafts inside, but they get to see. It's a great way to teach them. If you want to teach, your children even responsibility or that Compassion Kids is amazing. The care, that's what they get to feel.
I guess a lot of people wouldn't know that, like, oh yeah, the cute babies when they have pet parties and everything like that. But what happens to them when they're
Yes.
they're grown up,
Yep. Yep.
And so that's where the rescue and rehab come into play.
Yes, and for a long time, for a few years of us starting and building a name for ourselves, I got that flack, like, well, we're excited to hire you for baby animals. And I said, well, we're not all baby animals. We're small, we're friendly animals, they're extra friendly. And sometimes they are babies. Sometimes babies come in. I just can't guarantee it. And for a couple of years, I'm sure people didn't choose us for that reason. But I feel like now they choose us. They're happy with, and I still tell them if I hear the word baby, I get nervous. I get
Sure.
get nervous, and then I tell them, and they say, "Oh no, that's fine. Anything's fine."
Well, friendly animals are, no matter what age they are,
Yes.
is
That's what you wanna
very
see.
comforting.
Yep.
Yeah, very comforting. So you do parties. You do take it on the road still, or
We do.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way. We go to UMass Dartmouth a lot.
Okay.
So working with college age students as they're going through really stressful periods of time, they're trying to get everything done. They're, at the end of their semester, they're rushing to get everything done. So we bring the animals over and have therapy days. So they're cuddling goats and sheep and bunnies, resting and relaxing, and then able to go back and do their work better.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it's very therapeutic for them.
We also have special needed adults that work here. They come. It gives them a safe place. Sometimes we hear like if they're pushing grocery carts that people can be mean, or so they work here. They work at their own pace. They clean maybe the bunny barn. They have their chores that they have to do. They take a bus. It gives them independence. They love it. Everybody's friendly here. It's a safe place for everybody, kids. And then sometimes they just walk around with a counselor, and they'll ask if they could just drop in, and they'll walk them around, see the animals. That might be a reward for them having to go to the doctors that day. And it's nice to see too.
I think we provide hope because we get to see that the animals can live a life past some of the abuse and neglect that they have gone through.
Sure.
Switching homes, grief and loss. We all have those experiences as well. We come here, we meet in the middle. We guide them through their experience while they guide us through our own. And that piece of hope for anybody, anywhere, to have a place that you can go where these needs are met and you feel connected, that is at the base of what we do.
That's awesome. So what type of animals do you have here?
So we have both farmed and exotic animals. So for farmed animals, those are animals like cows, sheep, goats, pigs, rabbits. But we also have exotic animals like zebus and camels. We've expanded and hope to one day have capybaras and be a place where even animals that wouldn't fit in a traditional home, they can come here because there are still plenty of animals that need rescue and rehabilitation that a lot of places cannot provide.
Sure. With all those animals, it must take a lot of work. And you must have a lot of, do you have volunteers? Do you have employees?
We do take volunteers, and we do have some volunteers that are absolutely amazing. Fall is a great time to volunteer if anybody wanted to volunteer. We have a lot of leaf cleanup, stick pickup. Sometimes it's rock pickup. Sometimes it's feeding the bunnies. With volunteers, it's always good to remember that it is about care, and that's like you are doing a lot of the work. You do have time to snuggle and play with the animals, but it is a lot of work, so I can always give you a lot of work when you come. And we do have a few people that come about 5 days a week and help us clean. We have sections, and I'll have a section. My other daughter has a section, and other people have sections. We do it every day.
Sure.
Yep.
So you still have the blazing saddles,
Yes.
and little patch of Heaven Sanctuary
Yes.
is kind of an offshoot of all of that
Yes.
to do what your vision and your mission is.
Exactly. And to bring it to people affordably, because in this world, there's so many things that we charge for that we really shouldn't be. And connection to animals and nature shouldn't be something that is charged for. So we were hoping to create programs that would just be accessible to everybody who needs it.
So tell us about those learning programs, and that's throughout the year. Is it on a schedule, or is it on weekends, or what are the learning programs? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes. Our learning programs are typically Monday through Friday, and it just depends on which type. So a summer camp program would run the entire week, whereas our homeschool programs are co-ops that only run on certain days of the week, like Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays. This allows us to give smaller areas of time for children of younger age. So it's not something where you want to be outside for more than 4 or 5 hours throughout the whole year if you're age 4 to 6. But if you're older than that, we have programs that last a long time during the day. So approximately 6 hours, you're here, you're getting a lot of energy out, you're spending time with the animals, you have tasks that take you longer.
So what, that's great. That really is great. I'm thinking about so many people that I know that is going to really love your little patch of heaven sanctuary.
And just the teens. She loves the teens, and they get to that age where they go into 6th grade, and there's almost like no more after school program for them, or camps are, maybe they don't really want to go sit in the Y. So she provided this year for summer, they were like volunteer, and ages 13 to 17, they paid $50 for the week, and they had a place to come. They would help me with chores. They would help with, some would help with the classrooms, and it was just a safe space. We let 10 in to be all week long while their parents are working. Or
we believe in that village mentality. So we need places where parents know these people love my children as much as I do. They hold similar values to what we do as a family, and that we're encouraging them to meet goals, to work hard, and to be in a community that's supportive. Because we can find so many places, especially as adolescents, that do not treat us properly, yet we stay or we attempt to continue to work on those types of relationships. Here, you're sending your kids somewhere and you're saying, you deserve this, and you deserve this love and this acceptance.
That's a great mission, and what a great vision, you know, for so many, especially in the teenagers, very challenging. Do people come here and do they ride the horses too, or how does that work?
so we mainly do pony rides right now. It's mainly 12 and under. We do have 33 horses on the farm, but a lot of them are retired. They may have conformation problems, or, you know, they're kind of just living out the best life they have. The kids will brush them, they'll walk them, we'll do like obstacle courses with them, we'll learn team building skills together. We do all that, where we do a little bit of riding. Some of the teens will ride, it's more lead line.
We found in the riding world that there was a lot of competition. And that was the one thing that we wanted to break away from. So in terms of riding, or in terms of connecting to equine in general, we want it to be ways that is inclusive of everybody and is totally separate from competition.
I'm sure some people would have a fear of riding a horse, but walking a horse is a good step on breaking those fears completely.
Exactly. And they get so happy, and it builds their confidence so much. And we've seen so many kids just blossom.
So what's some upcoming plans here?
So we do have a lot in the works. One thing that we are really pushing right now is our Halloween event. This is our 4th annual Halloween event, and it's a great time for people to come by, meet the rescue animals and feed them, but also enjoy tons of different types of entertainment. We're going to have costume characters here like Jack and Sally. We're going to have Stitch here. And then we have a dance party. We have a rescue animal parade. So our homeschoolers work all month of September and October on their costumes that match the animals that they want to show everyone. We walk in a line, and you get to see our rescue animals dressed up alongside their kids that they work with all year. We're also working on membership packages that bring people here more frequently and allow everyone to have a say in the types of entertainment that we will provide moving forward.
You know, this is incredible because a lot of people may not know that this is here. You know, I'm glad that we're doing a show on this, because what a gift to the town of Fairhaven to have this right in our own backyard, you know, at 263 Mill Street, you know, Mill Road. But so along with that, so when is this Halloween event?
We have 2. Halloween event, the main one is Disney inspired. It's October 19th. And then during the night of October 18th and 19th, we have a haunted walkthrough. So people walk through with eyeball-safe flashlights and get to find the animals at night, see what they're doing, and we have haunted spooky trails.
And a bonfire, s'mores making.
Yes, reptile show.
Reptile show.
We could go on and on.
Yep.
So that's a
fun.
lot
Yep.
that's happening on October 18th and 19th right here at Little Patch of Heaven Sanctuary.
Yes.
So that's great. Oh, any other like events maybe towards the end of fall or
Absolutely.
early
December.
around
We have
Christmas?
about 3 for the holidays. So we have peppermint pop-up parties where people come by and feed the animals peppermint and different treats. Those are random weekends that we haven't decided yet.
Okay.
But as for December 14th, we're having our main holiday event. And
Okay.
this year it is based off of Rudolph. So we are going to be having all different types of characters there, including Santa and the Grinch. We're going to
wow.
have a tree raffle. It's a lot of fun. And it gets you out during some of the darker, colder months.
Sure. This is very exciting. So how would someone get in touch with you?
You can call us, you can email us. We have our website, which is Blazing Saddles Pony Parties or allthingslittlepatch.org. Those are great places to see what we're doing and how to contact us directly. You can text us even. We're always available. We love this work and we'd love to talk to everyone.
Facebook is great. We have a Facebook Little Patch Learning Path for the educational. We shoot it out on every one that we have. We have Blazing Saddles Pony Parties. We try to keep it like the pony parties, and then we'll throw Little Patch Learning there. And then we have the Little Patch of Heaven Sanctuary Facebook page too.
Well, thank you both so much for this great mission and vision that you have, and for also the rescue of so many animals that are such a need. It's great to see that they have a nice, fulfilled life, and they're giving back also to help other people.
It's so true.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, and I'm so glad that you're right here down the road
Thank you.
at Little Patch of Heaven Sanctuary.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
And now I'd like to close out this segment of the magazine with a message from Bob Foster, who is president of the Fairhaven High School Alumni Association. And he's going to give us an update about the Room 7 project that they have going on right now, and also some brief history of Room 7.
Hello, my name is Bob Foster, and I'm the president of the Fairhaven High School Alumni Association. And I'm standing here in the middle of the most beautiful and the largest classroom in the school, Room 7. Now, I thought I'd start off by telling you a little bit about Fairhaven High School and how this beautiful public high school got built by our town benefactor, Henry Huddleston Rogers. Henry Huddleston Rogers had graduated from the original Fairhaven High School, which was on Main Street, not far from this school, in 1856. He was in the first graduating class in town. And on the occasion of his 50th reunion, high school reunion, if you will, he decided to give the town a brand new school. He had already donated a number of buildings to the town, such as the town hall, the Millicent Library, and he decided to donate this new, beautiful school and make it the most beautiful high school in America. Now, when he built the school, he had a few requirements that he asked his architect, Charles Brigham, to include. And one of them was to build the most beautiful and largest classroom that he could. And that's the room that I'm standing in here right now, known as Room 7. If you talk to any graduates of Fairhaven High School, they can easily remember the number of this room, and most of them will tell you what seat they sat in when they were in here for their homeroom. The reason Henry wanted this room to be extra large and extra beautiful was that back in his day, very often students dropped out of school after the 6th, 7th, 8th grade. There was no requirement to stay in school till you were 16. And Henry really thought it was important for kids to stay in school and get a full education and a diploma after the 12th grade. So his plan for this room was he asked the school to make sure that this was the homeroom for the juniors and the seniors. Now, this room has 102 wooden desks in it. These are the original wooden desks. They're 118 years old, and they've held up pretty well. But obviously, now, the most recent senior class had 157 students in it, so not all of the students could fit in this room nowadays. But back in his day, there were 129 students in the entire school in 1906. So they could fit the juniors and seniors all comfortably in here for their homeroom. Now, as you look behind me, and you'll notice the ceiling and the ornate Italian hand plastered ceilings that we have here, and the woodwork, all the hand carving that was done in the woodwork that you can see around the room. It was a pleasure to be able to be in this room for any length of time, whether it was your homeroom or back in the old days, we had study halls. And Rogers felt that this would entice those that were freshmen and sophomores as they walked by this room and saw it from the hallways to want to be able to make it to be a junior and senior so that they could take advantage of the experience of being in this room. Now, one thing that's happened over the years, the Alumni Association has had to step up and help out the school with the restoration of some of the desks in this room. In the 1980s, we actually had this entire room restored. We've got some grants from the Mass Historical Society, and we also raised a number of funds. And with the blessing of the school committee, we restored the ceiling in this room, which had got kind of dingy over the years as a result of burning coal in the furnace here. And the desks got a little bit carved up, and the floors were kind of worn. So we had all these desks taken out and refinished back in the early 80s. The ceilings were all cleaned and restored by some expert restoration painters. And the floors were completely redone as well. In 2001, we did the desks again. We had them all taken out and we had them sanded and refinished. But what's happened lately is that some of the desks, particularly the tops of the desks, have experienced shrinkage of the wood. And the refinisher that we're using, the restoration company, which, by the way, is Cape Cod Furniture Restoration in Wareham, Mass. Jim Zine, the owner of that company, has told us that it's basically shrinkage of the wood. And what started to happen is that some of the wood is starting to drop down and eventually would just collapse. Well, the Alumni Association feels that this room, the special character of the room, is largely defined by these desks. Now, there used to be wooden desks in all the classrooms in this 1906 building. This is the only room that still has any remaining. And we'd like to keep it that way for as long as we can. So right now, we're going through an experience of taking out the desks, and you can see behind me that there are a number of desks that have been taken out recently and last week, and they're being refinished, repaired, and then brought back in. We hope over the next couple of months to have all 102 of them done and back in place. This classroom is still used every day of the year. They don't use it for homeroom anymore, but it is used as a classroom because they need the space. And also it's a beautiful space for the kids to be able to appreciate the architecture of the entire school. If you haven't had a chance to see our video documentary on the Castle on the Hill, which is the nickname of this school, you can view that by going to Fairhaven TV YouTube page. And I think you'll appreciate not only this classroom, room 7, but also the old gym, which has now been converted into the new library as of 1999, and also the Knipe Auditorium, which is right above this room and is the most beautiful auditorium that you'll ever see in a public high school. Okay. Now you can see that the desks that have been taken out, which they've been taking them out over the last several weeks, 12 at a time, and when they bring back in 12 restored desks, and these 20 desks on this side of the room have all been completed, and you can see what a great job Cape Cod Furniture Restoration has done with them. The desks that are empty here, these will be coming back in over the next few weeks, and then the remainder of the room on this end, the rest of the 102 desks those will all be done, hopefully by the end of September, early October. If you're wondering how the Alumni Association funds projects like this, we have one fundraiser each year. It's called the Light a Light fundraiser, which we start in October, and it goes through the holiday season. And basically, we ask our alums to donate whatever amount that they want, and for every $10 that we receive, we light a light bulb on our beautiful blue spruce tree that's out on the west lawn of the high school. Our alums have been extremely generous over the years, and we've been able to fund a lot of these type of projects. Another example of a project we did are the lights that you see on the ceiling. In 2016, the Alumni Association replaced the previous lights, which weren't very attractive to this room, and we found a light that is more representative of the original lighting. These lights cost us $11,000, but they meet the state lighting code and look very similar to the lights that were originally in this room in 1906. Now the ceiling, you may notice, is a very ornate ceiling. It's actually Elizabethan Renaissance in style. And it's one thing that Charles Brigham, the architect who designed this school, included just to make it stand out as being an exceptional classroom. This desk restoration project is costing us $31,000. And the alumni will hopefully fund this by the funds that we've raised from our Light a Light fundraiser each year. And the one that's going to be starting up in October, if you're wondering how you can donate to that, you can go to fairhavenalumni.org, our website, and there you'll see a button to be able to donate. Also, if you're an alumni and you want to subscribe to our newsletter, you can go to that same website and subscribe right there, and you'll receive the newsletters that we send out 5 or 6 times a year, especially during the Light a Light fundraising season. That's the only fundraiser that we use. We sometimes get grants from various sources to augment our various projects, but this is what we do. We try to work hand in hand with the school department to try to restore the school when needed, and we're able to do some projects that just are over and above what the high school and the school department could normally afford to do in their budget. All right, so I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video and for supporting the Fairhaven High School Alumni Association. Thank you very much.